Welcome, folks. It's Live Booth here, and we're ready to show you a little something. How about a new build that might just catch your interest? Coming up next. Alright, folks, I don't want to take too much of your time, so let's get right into it. Look at all these booth builds that we'll be sharing with you in the future. But let's get started here with a brand new one that's near and dear to me, and I like to call this one my 7-4 Destroyer. And no, it doesn't mean it is a 7-4. It means it destroys 7-4s. Catch my drift? We go in here and select a brand new build. Hand doesn't matter, as you're able to change this a little bit later, and we'll show you how at the end of the video, as we'll be going with the center position. 610 is the call, and we're lowering this puppy all the way down. Down she goes. Actually, we're gonna go up one. Alright, folks. From here, a nice height of 6'10", and the wingspan, we're going to be right there at 6'10" as well. This will give you the ability to get that deep bomber on the center build. How about that, folks? We're going to get this one started with a 91 3-ball, but actually, we're going to put it to an 86, as this will be good with cap breakers. You add 5 good cap breakers right here, and that'll get you all the way to 91. The mid-range will be a similar situation. This one we're putting up to an 88, and adding an additional 5 cap breakers to make it into a 93. And that's personal preference, folks, although I highly recommend it. The standing dunk. Now, you see I'm all over the place, but really I'm just showing you what's more important, and then we'll adjust the build according to what we have. The post moves, 79. You know, not a bad deal with the post move, but we want to make sure to put it just right. Now, here's where I think the magic is going to happen for everyone. We're going to put this ball handle all the way up to 75, which will be able to be increased to a 78 later. The pass accuracy, you know, guys, this build, I did go a little bit higher pass accuracy, being that it is a center. We went all the way with 82, but you can easily keep this at 71 to add more stats to the places that you feel deserve it most. The speed with ball, there's no question, folks. A 70 speed with ball on a 6'10 is absolutely overpowered, and I'll be sure to show you just why right at the end of the video. For the interior defense, now I myself went with a 77. This is where you can really crank it up to 80 or more, depending on your playstyle, but we've been doing okay at the 77 spot. Now, the real magic is about to happen. I think I'm saying that a lot. At the perimeter defense, it'll be an 83, a 73 for the steal. Now, that's going to be maxed out, and of course, an 84 for the block. Now, this one can go all the way up to an 88. But, you know, that'll be your preference. Let's see here, the rebounding. Now, we did go with a 70 rebounding. That is just enough to get the box out beast as well as the rebound chaser on bronze. Excuse me, box out beast will actually go to silver on the 70. Leave the offensive board at 45. And now for the speed. 79 speed right at the mark is exactly what you need. It's the maximum that we can have at this build. 75 agility. Believe it or not, you do move like you're flying everywhere when you have the 75 agility. And finally, for the strength, let's see what we can do with the 73. Now, this one can be put up quite a bit, but we found that the 73 is exactly what you need for the strong handles to go all the way to gold. You can push that up just a little bit more if you really want to feel safe and secure with the ball in your hands. Taking the vertical, it'll be a nice look at 74. I think that's been more common for the build these days. We got a lot of builds that go to 74, and we feel confident with it. Now to wrap it up, folks, only because I play a lot of starting 5 these days, and well, it's a little bit of rec too. And of course, my career, let's go ahead and shoot the free throw all the way up to an 87. Now, that's pretty much what we can do in terms of how the build will be relayed. Add a little 2 more to the offensive board. And there you have it, folks. One of my favorite builds, truly has been a spectacular man in all fashions, and it'll be called here a skilled stretch lob threat. The weaknesses will be no intent to crash the offensive glass, as you will not be getting any offensive boards. Good luck with that. It's certainly not a build that we recommend to take unless you're really good at getting those rebounds in 3v3s. But in terms of starter 5, guys, this is the build to have. The other weakness, it's not a very good rebounder defensively, but what do you need rebounding for? Let your team take care of it. I'm sure after a missed shot, you have a good opportunity to grab the board anyways. But let's look at the real strength here. Catches deep, goes straight up, don't we all? And of course, the mid-range scoring presence. Let me tell you, there's nothing like a good midi to set the pace. Deadly in pick and pop situations. Now that's exactly what you want to hear when it comes to a center build who's going to be popping all day long. And of course, it outpaces slower centers. Now, folks, that is truly where the magic is. You want to outpace those 7-4 centers and get right in their face. And I promise you, you get the Booth seal of approval and guarantee when it comes to getting that pressure on these 7-4s. Now for the animations, here they are, the passing style. Considering it's an 82, we went with Cade Cunningham, one of the fastest pass styles in the game. I highly recommend it, even if you have a higher passing accuracy than 82. With the dribble style, we'll go with Jaren Jackson Jr. You know, this dribble style has been solid for us, folks. The speed boosts are definitely clean, but if you like a little bit of something with more pacing, then there's always Giannis. And Sabonis. We might have to try Sabonis here as we haven't given him a good shot just yet, but going here, we got the dribble style. It's going to be pro. Simple. For the breakdown combos, it's Julius Randle. Alright folks, for the escape moves, we have Giannis. Nothing too special here, just a nice little escape to get out of any sticky situation. For the combo moves, we have something that everyone can diggy and jiggy with. It's pro. Of course, you can also go with the Kevin Durant. It's nice with the in between the legs, but hey, we went with the pro. The crossover, now here, it's a great option to go with the Giannis Antetokounmpo crossover, but you will have to unlock this one at Starter 4. Recommendations until then, get yourself some pro. I go with pro anyways, simply because it's a nice little move that we can shimmy out of there and get to the corner quick. We'll show you a little bit about that later. The behind the back, nothing too special here, it's just good old pro. Gets you the distance, but you can always go with normal if you feel cocky enough to get that spacing for the big three or a nice mid shot. For the spin move, pro always gets it done for me, although who spins these days? Kevin Durant will be the hesitation that we chose to go with here, although pro isn't a bad option if you want to keep it just a little bit tighter with those SIGs. The step back, well, this one is one of my favorites. It's going to be pro. It's nice, it's quick, and it's straight from the hip. Down to the triple threat styles, Kobe Bryant. Everybody knows good old Kobe, and it'll be good as long as you can equip it. Let's go down here. The motion styles, it'll be Drew Eubanks. We said we need speed, and Drew has supplied beautifully. That's a little extra tidbit for anybody who decided to stick around throughout the whole video. The jump shot we've been going with, I believe it's the quadruple F, and we'll check it out here. That's going to be Jonathan Isaac at the base. Baluba will be the first release. And, of course, Jeremiah Robinson Earl will be the second release. For the animation, it's going to be right at push. Release speed is on maximum. And Baluba with 53%, Jeremiah Robinson Earl with 47%. Folks, I picked this jumper off of YouTube, and ever since I found it, it's been absolutely clean. Highly recommend it. Let's take a look at the dunk styles. Just a couple of rim grazers, the athletics. You know, we wanted to go with the basics as well. Why not? The 2 foot, moving, everything pretty much basic. Athletics, nothing too special. Standing dunks, get everything you can. Now, I think that this is really where this build shines. It can stand dunk at any point in time, just as long as it's under that rack. Now, one thing you may notice here, why we did not equip the two-handed under the basket. Well, I was just speaking with a gentleman here online a little while ago, and we both agree that this is the worst animation that you could possibly find yourself in. For the big looks, now, one of my favorites is going to be Stoudemire. Amari really gets it done. The speed, the quickness, right to the rack, gets it for the quick splat. Now, here's my finalized build, but we'll take a look at just where to put these points up first, just to help you out in getting the most out of your build early. Alright folks, if you really want to get the most out of your build, just make sure you get, well, pretty much the 3-ball going, and this one's going to be very important to just get your build specialization. That's something that's really going to make this build shine. Of course, you want that ball handling absolutely maximum. This is going to give you the spacing and the gracing to get away from the defense. Folks, if you're playing Starter 5, it's not even funny. You need this. Absolutely need it. And, you know, we could even go as so far as to go to 74 there for now. The steal, not so important. You know, if you're going to be in position, you're not going to really get many in the game anyways. But you definitely want to make sure to get that speed and that agility all the way up. The vertical is neither here nor there, except for the big look here, getting 90 on the standing dunk. Then finally, you can play with the vertical here a little bit. Make sure, you know, at 66 is where you get. Let's take a look. There you go, rise up at 66 vertical. So you put it up to 66, and there it is. Got your rise up all the way to gold, and that's pretty much all you need, folks. That's going to really make a difference in terms of breaking that plane. All right, folks, the strength I highly recommend. You're going to get a lot more defense out of it, but it's not the biggest necessity. I do think, though, that one of the biggest things that you can get going for you, especially if you're doing Starter 5, go ahead and get that free throw up. and get that close shot up. And since we're just going to take this all the way to an 85 anyways, why not get that midi? At least have it secure. Get it to 80. You can get that post control as well, which will get you the post fade phenom, as well as post up poet hook specialist. And there it is, post fade phenom, absolutely clutch. The post up poet right next to it, and with those, you should be more than lined up and good enough to get rocking. For the badges, here we are, and let's take a look at what you'll finalize when you get this build all said and done. Now, my recommendation, one of the most important things that you can do is just get that set shot on Specialist and get it on Hall of Fame or on Legendary as quick as possible, as that's going to get you the best results with a taller build, getting catch and shoots, as well as, being in position against the defense. These are the badges that you'll be looking to play with if you go with the shooting specialization. We have the Shifty Shooter badge as well as the set shot specialization, both at the Legendary tier. Oh my goodness, looks like we have Deadeye as well. The Limitless Range we put on gold just to make sure we get enough spacing back there. But you also have Handles for Days and the Challenger badge here on gold. Now, let me tell you folks, that lightning launch on gold may not seem special, but remember, you're on a 610, so it's really going to give you the boost that you need. A little bit of extra, we just put it here on the Rise Up as well as Ankle Assassin. You can go ahead and play around with that Ankle Assassin and let us know if it works out better for you. The Challenger badge, now that's questionable. You can always put on a little something special, including Float Gain and High Flying Denier. I felt that the higher High Flying Denier is, the better production you'll get. Alright folks, that's the build, those are the badges, and that's pretty much everything we have to offer for you today. We hope you enjoyed it. Go ahead and check it out and show those 7-4 some hell. Thank you so much for being a special part of this one, and if you like this video, make sure to comment, and we'll see you next time. Alright folks, if you haven't subscribed, please do so, and we'll catch you soon. Have a beautiful rest of your day.